home of Kansas Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Southern Pecan Cake. They don't just call anything Southern, especially if it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome.
And seeking motivations. Gray second to none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments. So there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Ironhide Construction is hired. They're looking for hard, motivated individuals for openings for experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, and director or installer. They will train the right people you position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruct.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way. Integrated hiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln has enough services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and The Ticket FM. Spark lunch and dinner at 10 Park Road.
93.7 The Ticket.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see some patchy fog this morning and change storms as well. And partly sunny skies will take over this afternoon. We'll see a high around 85. Tonight, partly cloudy skies earlier than a chance of storms later in the night. So we'll over 70. And tomorrow, continued chance of showers and storms will see a high around 83. And the draw is Kyle Country for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in to the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach.
All by himself. Touchdown. 98 yards and a Lambeau leap.
Here is your host, Ahman Green.
Welcome to the show. What's up, Austin, man? How you doing?
Ahman, I am great. Feels like it's been a while. How you been?
I've been good, man. Still packing and lacking. still packing and taping. I'm a pro at the tape job on the box now. I got a little system. My wife doesn't agree with me though, but I do. You know how you get the first strap of tape on there where where the box meets up. So I put one strip that way, and then I put two others. So I'll make it a 3-stripped like belt to hold that box, bottom and top. So bottom should be nice and secure. She does one stripe, but then two across that stripe, like kind of closing the box. And I'm like, I don't know about that one. I've tied a lot of shoes in my day, and I don't know if that seems secure, But hey, whatever works for her and her boxing. up things. I'm like, hey, just as long as it gets on the truck, I don't care how it's taped up.
That's the thing. Get it taped up, get it secure. It doesn't really matter, right? As long as the result is good, I feel like the ends should justify the means in this case.
100%. That's it, man. So, welcome for the show. Man, just still packing like last week. Not much been going on for me up here in Wisconsin, other than the weather's been nice and hot. That's about it. But I love this part of the year because it just, it's an innate thing where I just know it's training camp time. College just started, NFL started last week, high school will probably be next week, Little League will be the week after that. So on all levels, my body's just like twitching. So when I wake up in the morning, it feels like I'm waking up back in the dorms on my first training camp. I'll talk about that later. On Lincoln, on my first training camp as a Seahawk, or my first training camp as a Packer, and then also as a Texan. I could go through all those, but it just I smell the grass. It's nice and toasty outside. People, the funny part about this time of year, I hear a ton of people, including my wife, some of my kids every now and then. Oh my God, it's so hot. Oh my God, it's so hot. I'm like, I had a helmet, shoulder pads, thigh, knee. We had to wear everything. Gloves sometimes, arm pads sometimes. And you telling me how hot it is? I said, let me put all that gear on, about 30 pounds of gear.
You're standing in a huddle in like 10 square feet of space with like guys that weigh 300 pounds.
And you're 30 pounds. Exactly. And then you're standing on AstroTurf. Just get that, get your mind right. AstroTurf is literally rubber oven. Yeah, you can see the steam coming off the turf at Lincoln and Memorial Stadium during 2 days. During the high school camps when the kids would come in, I could see, you could stand, if you stand back under the stadium, you could see the heat coming off the ground. So I'm like, no. Get your mind. I'm like, this ain't nothing. This is nothing sitting in this heat. So
besides, you're in Wisconsin. You should take the heat when you can get it.
Right. And it's like people that I've talked to about this from Wisconsin, they like, oh, it's so nice and da-da-da-da-da. Then they're complaining about the winter. And I'm like, why don't you leave like I'm leaving? They were like, no, it's not that bad. I'm like, well, what you complaining about? I'm like, look, I earned my stripes in the cold weather. I got it for life, where if I ever come up north anywhere, I'm good. I just need a beanie and a pair of gloves. That's the only thing I want, on my head warm and my digits warm. I don't need no big coat. Give me a nice little vested with a long sleeve shirt, like a long sleeve thermal, and I'm good to go. So so yeah, that's it. That's what I've learned here. My body's adjusted over 20 plus years here, 23 years to be exact. So in the news today, man, I'll start with Nebraska, because since football started in the state, we have some good stuff, not too bad stuff. I'll lead with the bad, kind of, where you had the junior senior safety defensive back Miles Farmer transferring out, and hearing about that is just just unfortunate. I listened to Matt Rule's conversation when he had his press conference on that, and kind of left it up to Miles. He said he put the ball in Miles' court, and me being new, I haven't really seen his gameplay, but I heard that he's a really good. He was like second on the team, first on the team in tackles as a defensive back, or if not the whole defense. So hearing that and just understanding the whole processes that are around now for college athletes, that there is the transfer portal, there is NIL, and something to where, hearing how things went down, he having a conversation with Coach Rule, and Rule said, hey, the ball's in your court. You make your decision. And but I think he was getting suspended, right? He was going to be suspended indefinitely for a little while anyway, because he had violated team rules. So I think that, hearing that, I hear two things popped in my head right away when I heard that. I'm like, okay, he knows he's going to get suspended for a few games. We don't know the whole year. We don't know, but he knew he was going to be under that probation. And it's like, you know what? Let me just jump into the transfer portal. Let me get out of here. Let me scathe the damage of being suspended and maybe get on the roster here in the next 3 weeks before the college football season started. And I haven't met the young man. It's just like, to me, it's like you can't run from. You don't want to run. You're running from something, And I'm not saying he's a bad kid or not. I just know, when you're young, you don't know all your thinking processes of how to look at things, because from the outside looking in, that doesn't look good, where you're leaving a place where you're about to be disciplined. It's like, is that the reason you're going to jump in the portal? It's probably not, but I'm just saying what it looks like from a fan point of view, either wherever school he go to, and hearing from the conversations that he's going to get probably picked up by a school that needs him and wants him, and a prominent school, maybe a Pac-12 school, or maybe a school within the Big Ten or even the ACC. So that's good for him, that he could land somewhere and be able to be at a team that's competitive and to use his skills, as a player.
Right. And I think to your point about it, it looks like running away, even if it's not.
Correct.
You have to understand the optics, but from Miles Farmer's perspective, maybe it's not, but it adds another level for the coach that is going to be his position coach, his defensive coordinator, and his head coach to sift through, right? They'll ask him, why did you decide to transfer? Right. Why now? What went into that? They'll get one answer from Miles Farmer. I have no reason to believe that he won't be truthful with them. And Matt Rule even said that in his comments. He respects Miles Farmer as a person, thinks he's a good guy, but felt the need to suspend him for, not living up to those standards. Correct. So the new coach will have one conversation with Miles Farmer, but he's also going to call Matt Rule. He's also going to call 100%. Evan Cooper and say, this is what Miles told us. Does it jive with your understanding of the situation? And that plays into them, taking Miles Farmer, what they think about him if they do decide to, allow him onto their team, let him on, use a scholarship on him more likely than not. So as much as it seems like running away, and maybe that's what he's trying to do, maybe it's not. Right. You're not able to get away from it. That label
is going to be there.
Here, it follows you.
Yes, it's like a horror movie I just watched called Talk to Me, an Australian-made film, and it's like, have you seen the previews? It's like they're having a party, and it's this hand that this kid puts on a table, and you shake. When you touch the hand, you could see into the paranormal world, so the ghost world.
Whoa!
And as you just mentioned, even if, like you're saying, you go from university, it's going to follow you. So once you touch that hand, if you say, let me in, then the ghost spirit possesses your body. And if you stay there too long, they possess you. They're there. They're in your body for now. If you're there for like 2 minutes. So this is just like that. He can't run one away from it. It's going to follow him, unfortunately. But hopefully nothing that's going to really deter him from playing ball. I say it just probably be the mental side of it, because I understand that. I've been through that, where some things that happened, I was out of my control in my NFL career, that followed me from team to team. And it is discouraging to hear that from the coaches, the new coaches. Hey, what happened on this event this day? And it's like, oh, you got to sit there and explain it. You got to live through all that moment again of what made that decision or that choice of I say changing your path at that school. So hopefully, like I said, hope everything is good for him in his next venture where he lands. So hopefully he lands in a good place in terms of team and school, and he finishes out his degree. It'll be interesting. He lands somewhere in the Big Ten where they get to face him. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, and I think his teammates would more than welcome that chance. I mean, they've been going against him in practice, but that would be so weird to see a teammate in a different uniform like that. I mean, it's getting more and more normalized in college. I'm sure in the pros, it's more normal too, given the business of the NFL. But I still think it'd be weird. The guy that it's been on campus for a few years now, that worked his way up, that you've had meals with, you've joked around with, gone to parties with, whatever. All of a sudden, you're supposed to hate that guy on the other team? I don't know about that.
Yeah, it for each player is different. Some players like myself, I would not like him. He's my old teammate. Well, I say, well, I mean, between the lines, we're going to go at it. After the game, man, I'm going to give him a big hug. Hey, good game, win or lose, what have you. But there's some players that they take that to heart, and they're going to be out there trying to kill people. It'll be hilarious. It is interesting. It was like a scene. You watched Ted Lasso season 3?
Is 3 the newest one?
Yeah, the latest one. Yeah.
Okay, then no, it's on my list. We're about to start it, but I've only gotten through 2.
You're gonna enjoy it. Another good season. Good job to Jason Sudeikis with writing, I think directing it too. But they had an episode where the team, it was like their mid-season break, like a bye week. And so everybody went back home to their teams because you got a lot of international players playing for this London team, this team that's in London. And the Latino player, the Mexican player, he went home, but on his break, he was playing with the goalie. He was going to play against the goalie in a friendly. So it was like, I think the goalie was from Africa somewhere, or maybe like Sweden. And then the Latin player was from Mexico. And so they played, and the goalie was like, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna have a good time, get to see each other, play again." And the other one, I can't think of his name. It'll pop up. He was
was it Danny?
It was Danny. Yeah, Danny. Yeah, Danny was like, no. This is team. This is my country. He flipped the switch on me. He ended up busting his nose. I was like, oh man. So don't be a Danny. Hopefully not. No Danny's gonna be out there if they ever face each other here in the future in a match, in a game, and maybe a bowl game or something. Who knows? Hopefully he's not a Danny coming after him.
Right.
So, yep. So yeah, we got training camp, and like I said, it's just for players like myself, it's just in the bones. You feel it, and it was an interesting thing that I heard also, heard and saw. Do it like I'm getting into it now. I'm waking up. I'm jumping on YouTube, getting all the Husker information I could grab for each practice. So little things pop up. And so in the last couple of days, I've been listening, and something popped up, which is real interesting. And I want to bring up the fact that the players, some of the players, and the ones that even been here 3-4 years, they're experiencing living in the dorms at Selleck Hall. And I'm like, huh? Wait a minute. What you mean just now? And I'm like, all I do remember is coming out of actually freshman camp. They had me over in Harper with my roommate who was with me for the rest of the year, offensive lineman tackle Marcus Johnson. And I'm like, so some guys never been in dorms. Is that what I'm kind of picking up here?
What I think the situation is that these guys, a lot of them live off campus, kind of North Bottoms-ish.
Yeah.
Or they're in suites, right? A lot of athletes live in the new suites on, I think, 17th Street there.
Correct.
So instead of living there, they moved the entire football team into Selleck, which, to be honest, is a downgrade, right? It's more roughing it.
But that tells me that previous coaches, so Scott, Riley, maybe Bo, did not have the dorm rule thing, because that was like verbatim. Like that wasn't even a question my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, that we were going to be anywhere else but the dorms. We weren't even for guys. I think it changed once you became a sophomore and if you moved off campus. But that freshman year, that first camp was Mando, that we were in the dorms. And then we ate lunch, dinner, breakfast with each other, all grades. So freshman to senior. So it was no separation there. So now it kind of, I really see, I'm like, it basically painted a picture in my head. Now it makes sense on a lot of the differences. Again, going back, coming now, and now what Rule is doing with the players, because when you're not around each other every day, that's the emphasis of training camp. That's why I bought training camp, which I don't think it was something not foreign to esports coaches, but that's why I brought it to my esports teams and players. And even some of them said, why are we doing training camp? And you know, my first year at Lakeland.
Training camp?
You remember I brought that up. But to see now that the players are saying, well, the dorms are this, they're doing their little bickering about it or what they don't like about it, which is cool because it ain't gonna be perfect. You got the big guys. I think it was Ty, one of the D linemen, mentioned his feet are hanging off the twin bed. I said, bro, you better get used to that life. It may not change in the NFL, bro. It may not change in the league because training camps in the NFL is just as, I say definitely better. During my time, I could say that it was rough, but it might be a little bit better now. But it's another flag. I wouldn't say red flag, but it's just a flag of things of change that went on, because if that wasn't being implemented by the previous staffs, then you're missing a whole big nugget of building a culture. And now it makes sense to me why things were so far gone out of the culture that was there back in 1997, 1998. I think 1998 probably have been the real last few years because Coach Solich took over for what, 3 years, 4 years he was there?
98,
98.
2001 to 2003 was this last year. So
Got it. So 6 years. So after those 6 years, it definitely changed because I know Coach Solich had the culture that Coach Osborne coached. And so after 03, then that's when we saw that. And that's when that comes, because being in the dorms, being around your teammates, you like or love them, but you're going to make sure you respect them. And that's what the coaches want and older players want. And as a player, you figure that out because you're going to come into a room, you putting your stuff down and they're putting their stuff down, and who's claiming territory, like how much of the room is yours, where can I put my shoes, where are you going to put your shoe, stuff like that happened. And that's what happened with me and Marcus. And we were pretty much buddy right away. Like, all right, you got that side. He took the right side, I took the left side. And then, we shared some things, like if we needed stuff from toothpaste to drinking somebody's soda in the refrigerator to water. But some players they don't have that transition. It might be a little rough. I remember Tony Ortiz. We got to bring this up with Jay because Jay was a part of this. And Aaron Wells. This is off campus. So they moved. This is after freshman year. They moved off campus. And I, like I said, I had an on-campus freshman roommate, Marcus Johnson. Great friend, good guy. And after my sophomore year, or after my freshman year, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go with a roommate. I think I'm just gonna stay solo, go solo. It was nothing against Marcus, nothing against my teammates. I just started to see things with Jay, Aaron, and Tony going to their apartment. They lived in North Lincoln, right past the freeway. And I remember several times going over to their house to come play Tecmo Bowl or Tekken or Mortal Kombat. And I remember walking into a hole in the wall just as I opened the door. And I'm like, I said, none of y'all are construction people. Why is the drywall busted wide open? And I think it was Tony. No, it was Jay. I think it was Tony. And he had ate Aaron's spaghetti his mom made. And they got into a fight. And the fight was the result of a hole in the drywall. I'm like, that's coming out y'all deposit for sure.
Oh, that's two.
That's coming out. And like another time, not too far after that, I came in the house. I think I came into a fight. I'm like, they going at it. I'm like, nah, see, this is why I don't have roommates, But through all that, they're still good friends, They were same position. They were all on defense. Those were three. We had Aaron Wells was a DN. Both Jay and Tony were linebackers. So they were around each other all day long. You got to think about that. It's just like sibling rivalry. You're around your friends and teammates all day long. You're going to have to deal with the bad, deal with the good. It's going to be, it won't be a good taste in your mouth from time to time, but you got to suck it up. And if it goes down, just don't hurt them too bad. Don't hurt each other too bad.
Right. Clearly, Jay and Tony got over whatever it was. Have you heard Jay's story about him and Tony sneaking into recruiting line?
Oh, no. I got to hear that one from him one day.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a note. So the next time you guys are in the same room, he's telling that story. It had me absolutely rolling. But it's Jay and Tony. So you'll look forward to that one. My question for you with the dorms is these guys are getting random roommates. They're not the same position.
Correct.
Not walks of life.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, go with that.
Yeah, so I heard that. And so I heard Kemp, the wide receiver, mention that. Ty mentioned that, after his little jab about how small he's in a twin bed to be a D lineman. That's rough. Woo! Shout out to Ty on that. So hearing that they're switching, it's randomly. So it's defense, offense, special teams guys that rarely hang out. That's how I would do that. I will 100% do that because you're making that player. That student athlete doesn't realize how huge that is because now they're learning how to adjust. They're in something, it's unknown to them. They're getting thrown in a room. They don't know who's going to knock on that door next after them if they're already in the room or who they're going to knock on the door and walk in and see who's in there. It might be somebody they don't know, obviously different backgrounds. And that's them learning on the run as you got to do in college. You got to learn, you got to adjust, you got to grow. So I love what Coach Rule has done with that, that aspect and making sure those players, experience something different every time they walk into the building this season. So I think that's another part of being a coach. You change up things on the players just to have them have a different taste in their mouth at the end of the day.
Which makes sense. The other thing I was going to ask you too, you said you had a good time with Marcus. It was fine, buddy, but you wanted to be solo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to assume that you were one that could handle being solo because you had your goals, you had your motivations, you knew what your path was. Sure, there were plenty of guys who going out on their own probably wouldn't have been the best for it.
100%. I was very mature for my age. I had my goals written down since my junior year of high school. And though a lot of those goals was already involved me being part of the team in some fashion my freshman year. Obviously having great grades, and I was on a roll my freshman year, being a part of a national title team, being a part of the Dean's List, all that stuff was on my goal sheet. So yeah, I was something where I grew up. I was the last one out the house, so I was already kind of solo. So it was okay. It wasn't no big adjustment. Like I said, nothing against the guys and my teammates by sophomore year. They knew that. They understood that. So that was just, but yeah, for everybody, that's not the regular thing. And that's not probably the best thing for them because they're, oh my God, no more mom and dad. I'm not at school. I don't have to wake up at this time. I don't have to be here. Yes, you do. You still got to wake up for something. It's college.
Right.
And you're a football player or you're an athlete. So you're waking up for something. So, all right, you want to take it to break on that one? And
yeah, let's do
it. Let's take it a break, and we'll be back. We got to what Jay said. We got to get bills paid here. I like that one. We got to get bills paid here. We'll be back here in a little bit on the Ahman Green Show.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see some patchy fog this morning and chance of showers and storms as well. And partly sunny skies will take over this afternoon. We'll see a high around 85. Tonight, partly sunny skies early, then a chance of storms later in the night. We'll go over 70. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and storms will see a high around 83. And the meteorologist Kyle Hunter from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock. Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Koppel's big summer sales event is kicking off into high gear with lots of fantastic offers still going on. We've got 0.9% interest rates and trade-in bonuses on select new models. I know it all sounds too good to be true, but yes, 0.9% interest rates right now at Koppel. Also, we're ramping up our back-to-school vehicles, and our pre-owned inventory is filling fast. We've got great new pre-owned and GM-certified units ready to roll, so stop on by the dealership or online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today. Located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So Matt Davis in the studio, president of the 1890 Initiative, Nebraska's NIL operation.
We have some big things that we're going to announce, I think, in the next, few weeks, few months for sure. So I think 1890 and the trajectory for our company is really good. I think we have the ability to have a top 5 collective in the country. I think we're trending that way.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. We are back from our break there. Me and Austin are talking about the dorm life, of how things were back on campus during my day and compared to things now. And I'm loving it. Like I mentioned, I just like the way Coach Rule has then implemented this format, because it's going to continue. Like I said before break, it's going to continue to help these student athletes adjust to things in life, because you're going to be at a job where, just like a coach, a manager, department head, CEO of a company that you're working for, if you don't have your own company, you gotta abide by certain rules, or you gotta do certain things that you may not like. This right here gets you ready for that. Something in sports, in traditional sports, that I learned right away as a kid is like, I don't have control over a lot during practice. I either have to conform to it or butt heads with it. And I learned I was a smart kid, 2 older brothers that beat me up. I had a mom and a dad that stuck on me real hard, and a sister too. So I learned real fast how to go the easy route, and not the easy route so where everything is obviously easy on the long way. No, the route of less conflicts. When you already know that you were going to face conflicts, it's like, you know what? It's a smart decision to go this way. It might be a little bumpier to go that way. I'm gonna just make it easy on myself and check this one out over here. And it's the better decision 9 times out of 10. So
which battles are worth fighting?
Exactly.
It's going to give enough. So do I want to create more for myself, or can I sit this one out and just wait for the next one?
Correct. So I had that going on at a real young age, and then obviously through high school, college. Once I got to Nebraska, it was there. So that I was like, okay, yeah, it's not. I don't control this team. I'm not the head coach, and I was okay. Actually, I was excited to be in a dorm life, because I watched a lot of movies, seen a lot of TV shows, heard older kids talk about dorm life, and I'm like, oh, okay, You kind of on your own. It's kind of an apartment, but it's not, even though it's set up that way, but it's part of the school's campus living quarters for students. So I'm like, okay, so like I said, it's very, very good thing, because you hear the comments of the kids in the post-practice interview, and they're just a little couple things that here and there that they're adjusting to. I'm not saying complaining, they're adjusting to. That's the way you look at it, the way I look at it, and that's good. They don't realize that is a part of training camp, and it's actually going to be something that just that part right there might help them later in the season on the football field or in the classroom. So
Right.
Hopefully they realize that.
I think it's good too that it doesn't come across as complaining, and I think that's a credit to the young men, right, for making the best of their situation, for having an openness and a willingness. But I also think some credit goes to the staff for instilling that attitude and that culture that quickly. The guys that have spoken for the most part so far have been older guys who've either been around the team for a while, or like in MJ Sherman's case, has been around college football for a while, has that culture down at the highest level. And I think the credit to that, goes to the players, obviously, for buying into it, but to the coaching staff, right, for picking the right representatives to send in front of the media that are going to put on the best face, because messaging is a part of it,
100%.
but also to the coaching staff for instilling that attitude, for getting the players to buy in to that training camp sort of mentality, the embrace the newness, embrace the suck mentality, and even just early media training, right? Not every player
100%.
could handle that. It might be the same message. It might come across as whiny from one player, even if that's not the intention. So
Correct.
I think even though it is just, day 4 today of fall camp, they're good signs. They don't mean anything for wins and losses, but they're
Correct.
good signs to point in the right direction.
Yeah, good attitude. And that's what you want, and like you mentioned, Coach Rule and his staff had all of spring, and then right after that, before the rest of school let out for the summer in May, to send those messages in different ways, reaching out to the players, checking in on them, something that Coach Osborne did, so Coach Solis did, and I think individual coaches did throughout the post-spring ball season, because it was just a few weeks of school left, and then knowing the athlete is, I'm ready to get home, visit my family for a few weeks, and trying to hang out with your boys sometimes, and don't want to lose focus to that. And what's really the mission at hand, the goal at hand, is coming back or not even leaving sometimes for players. I know I never left until I got drafted. I didn't do no spring breaks, nothing. When I got to the league, that's when I finally did a spring break. Thank God I had a good friend in Miami to help me out with that. So it was just good weather, for a week long. I was like, man, I never partook in a spring break. I remember all hearing the other students, oh man, I was in South Padre Island, or I went to Hawaii, or whatever. I'm like, y'all suck. They're like, where were you?
Why?
Right. I'm like, where were you? They were like, Ahman, where are you at? I was like, I was here playing football and spring ball. So, but no, it was something, like I said, it just for the whole experience for a player, and understanding why they doing this is a good thing, and they'll learn that. They'll learn that. So switch gears for a second. Some unfortunately, this was actually the first day, or walking into the first day, you hear that Bob Wagner, the tight ends coach, a successful Texas coach down in Texas Arlington Martin High School, I think over 100 plus wins or something crazy, 200 something plus wins, resigned due to DUI. And I say the big, and I don't want to rest on this whole lot. I know everybody's covered this 1,000 times. I know how media works. I just want to bring it up because it's just a thing that it's different ways. Obviously, you want to start your camp. As a head coach, you want to go in after the first week, after every practice, not just the first week, but every practice, there is an account. After every practice, the coach should sit down, the head coach say, all right, how was today? How did the tight ends do? How did the running backs do? How did the DBs do? What did the defense look like to the DC, to the D coordinator? The offense look like to the offensive coordinator, things like that. But then to have a coach, that you've probably known for a long time, and he's gonna, and mentioned, he was going to be one of their best recruiters, being a Texas guy. It's not there because of that reason. You just got to make sure. And I've seen Matt Rule do this. I saw him doing it at the Big Ten Media Day. I saw him do it at his first press conference to handle the tough questions being thrown at him. So he's very, obviously, like you mentioned, media side of training. He has the savvy to handle those questions, to deal with that, and to know how to say the things he needs to say. It's not saying the right words, right comments. It's just saying the things you need to say, because as a leader, that's an uncomfortable situation. And the one thing I love about being a leader is we like to be uncomfortable. So he took it and did a great job with it, explaining that. It's just unfortunate for the tight ends. You know, they got to adjust to a new coach, and I believe Josh Martin, who has some experience behind him. He's young, 35 years old in terms of taking over, but that's a great opportunity for him. Again, we were just talking about adjustment with the dorm rooms and everything. So this is adjustment for a coach and a room of tight ends that did not know this was coming. And this is what adjustment is about. Sometimes you see it coming, sometimes you don't. And the toughest one is that second one, is when you don't see it coming, then you're really like either scratching your head or, oh my God, why did this happen? And once you get past that, it's like, all right, what's going to be my next step? What is going to be my mindset to help this situation for me, for the teammates next to me, you know, as a player, to my coach, you know, what I'm gonna take from this and help my training camp get better or go from this point on. Because, like, again, so I'm in the teaching mode. I'm a coach, I'm a teacher. So having that conversation with yourself, because some players, they could take that as a situation to take advantage of in a negative way. You know, oh, I got a new coach. This young coach ain't gonna, you know, he don't know nothing. He don't know me. So there it's negative. And he's not gonna put me in the right situation, or I'm not gonna get in the rotation. I'm not gonna get enough reps. That they could be thinking about that. And then, or you could be the other guy that's thinking, you know what, this is all right, new coach, just like I adjusted to him back in the spring. Now I just gotta go down that same road and talk with Coach Martin, you know, Josh here, to see what type of coach he is, to see what he likes out of us as players, out of me as a player, and learn that stuff as fast as you possibly can, so you then can be, you know, somebody that the coach knows that you have his buy-in and that he could depend on you as a player, as a teammate to the other tight ends in the room, to make that room, you know, gel together and be that I say that one punch for something with that offense that they're going to have. They're going to need the tight ends this year. And what I've heard, how the offense is schemed. So making sure those players are on the same page is going to be huge. So having that mindset will help you get there a lot faster.
And it's going to be tougher because you lose that tight end continuity, right? You go from Jack Stoll to Austin Allen to Travis Vokalek, guys that have been in the program, that were leaders, that put the work in, that rose up the ranks. It's an unproven room. Thomas Fedoni has been there for a few years. The coaching staff liked him in the spring, but he hasn't done anything on the field. Eric Gilbert has bounced around a little bit. He's still looking to prove himself. Nate Borkature is a walk-on. You've lost some guys to the defensive side of the ball throughout the offseason. So it's going to be tougher for the players to pick themselves up, but that's to some degree what they have to do. But I also think the fact that Josh Martin is there waiting in the wings is a credit to Matt Rule for going and getting good analysts, right? Not being comfortable with just the, 9 other coaches that can be on the field with guys. But that's where I think Nebraska can exploit a market inefficiency, and that there's no cap that I know of on the number of analysts you can have. You can hire anyone you want as an analyst. Gary Patterson went as an analyst to Texas. Plenty of guys whose names go to Alabama as analysts and just help out behind the scenes. Josh Martin being at, a Power 5 school in Arizona State, a solid football program in the American and SMU. Being
SMU, really good school.
As a special teams analyst, they're ready to go. If Matt Rule can build, a stable of coaches ready to move up, because if Nebraska gets successful, we see it with the best teams all the time, their assistants get poached. They move up to coordinator jobs other places. Coordinators get head coaching jobs. If you have analysts in the building or position coaches ready to step up into coordinator roles, being able to keep that continuity and hire further down the totem pole upsets less of the apple cart. It makes that continuity stronger. And I think that's something Nebraska could utilize.
Yeah, it's something that, especially now with another change coming through with the new coaching staff and all the players starting to understand that change and what type of change it is. It's a positive change, and it's a change I've heard in the conversation the players are having with the media in their comments, and you hear stuff like, "Oh yeah, training camp or spring ball, it was like this." And now we've been at it 4 months already. I'm already used to this now. You're hearing those little comments from, even way the players are coming in, the way they look. I've heard players that were a little bit heavier last year or even going into the spring, and now they look leaner, at the D tackle, at the linebacker positions. They look more athletic. And so that's just a shade to the hat, a tip to the hat to the strength coaches and that are in the building now that I met this past spring. So they're doing a great job along with the coaching staff, because they have to marry together to make sure they got those athletes in a condition for what Matt Rule is going to have, with the dual practices they're having. They're having 2 practices at a time where players can get more reps. That is a beautiful thing, because Coach Osborne used to do that. And I know Matt talked to Coach Osborne about that. Having multiple stations or multiple practices is an example of that, because now as a freshman, they could have, like I heard Matt Rule said that every freshman could have 40 reps instead of 1 or 2 reps of practice. Getting 40 reps as a freshman, that's all it's all about. That is all it is about, getting the reps, getting that experience. So then when it comes game time, somebody goes down, obviously i.e. my experience, I'm ready to go. The only thing foreign to me was being a starter. Getting hit by D1 linebackers or D1 D tackles, outrunning guys or being chased by guys was nothing new, because I had the black shirts defense that was doing to me on the daily in practice that I couldn't wait to be running away from. I'm like, look, I'm tired of running away from Christian and Jay Foreman right now, because they're in the backfield way too much. I'd rather deal with K-State linebackers because I'm faster than them or I'm bigger than them and get up out there and score some touchdowns. So yeah, it's just a great thing.
On the text line, Drumstick asks, what's the biggest hit you've ever delivered on a defender in your career? Dish the punishment out yourself.
Yeah. I would say 06. If we're going NFL wise, 06 as a Packer, we played the Cardinals here in Lambeau Field midseason, and I caught a linebacker. I know his number right off the hand, 54 at that time. So if you look up the Arizona Cardinal roster from 2006, number 54, he was a pretty good linebacker too, heavy. He had to be at least 250, and he came in the wrong way to me. It just say that. And I did something that a lot of running backs and even linebackers use from time to time. It's called same foot, same shoulder. So that means whatever foot I'm going to go into contact with, I'm going with that foot and the shoulder at the same angle at the same moment. So they lined up. So it feels like a brick wall when you're hitting me. So it was my right foot and my right shoulder. I got them lined up, and I just did a 6-inch Bruce Lee punch into him. Bow! And he fell like a sack of potatoes. And I was actually shocked. I didn't think it worked, and it did. I was like, ooh. My intent wasn't to knock him out. My intent was to hit him, to let him know this is what you got to deal with, and I'm about to get 5 more yards, and you're going to come on the ride. It just so happened his head was in the wrong place. It was his head and my shoulder. That don't equal out.
No.
Just letting y'all know that. All kids listening in, if you're going in for a tackle and you're going to hit, don't hit with your head, hit with your shoulder. You'll win most of the time. So he didn't. He felt that his head hit my shoulder, my right shoulder, and he was night. So
night. I found the roster. Do we want to call this guy out, or just want to leave it at 54?
No, we can leave it at 54.
Okay.
I'm nice. Let's be nice today. I'm in a good mood today. That's all.
Okay.
All right. So I say on that note, let's we gotta take another break again. Like Jay says, we gotta get the bills paid. So me and Austin will be back, talk a little bit of esports before we wrap up this show today on the Ahman Green Show. Talk to you in a little bit.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. And there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on innovation and leading-edge technology. Current internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better pain-free orthopedic and plastic surgery where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing. At 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Stop in. GE Landscape homeowners and contractors, landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money. Buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see some patchy fog this morning and chance of showers as well. And probably sunny skies will take over this afternoon. We'll see a high around 85. Tonight, partly cloudy skies early, then a chance of later in the night. We'll see a little around 70. And tomorrow, we'll continue chance of showers as well. We'll see a high around 83. New draw is Kyle Bucket from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Ahman Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Come about to wrap up this show. Went fast, Austin, as usual. And so, real quick, I'm gonna delve in to our esports team here in Nebraska. We've had some great news today. We had a Z, our club president, got interviewed. If I was in town, I would have been in his interview with her too. They told me in the morning that, hey, we want to do an interview with you and Z. We heard about the program. We want to, promote it a little bit. And I'm thinking the whole time, like, I think we're going to do this on Zoom, I'm assuming, because I figured they knew I was not in town, but they didn't, which was okay. So Z got all the light, as she should. She is doing a really good job as the club president. So if you go over to www.1011now.com and look up Nebraska esports at their website. So thank you there. You can read about the article, how she breaks it down, and what her job is as the president, but also how excited the players are, the student athletes are, to have the esports facility to be coming to the student union. Jaden, who is our Call of Duty coach, basically our team manager, he was also along for the interview. They had cameras there rolling as he gave them a tour of. If you go down into if you know the bookstore and the Union really good, it's downstairs, and then right to the right of the Nebraska bookstore is the space that will be taking over sometime this fall. So that is big deal. Obviously, spreading the word to all the local high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, Lincoln Public Libraries. I've spoken to a ton of people that want to collaborate on a lot of different things. So having this article and this interview pop up is a great deal right before school starts. And I think it's around August 30th or 29th, a big red registration where all the clubs, and which I'm a part of, can then introduce myself to more students that maybe did not know about us. So they get them into the esports program and playing the games and being a student as well. So super excited for Z, for Jaden, to have them tell the story, because this is their story. This is something they created. The students created back in, I believe, 2018, and now the story has legs. It's running, it's jumping, it's Mario Karting, it's League of Legends, it's Call of Duty, Rocket League, all those games, playing together, winning games, winning matches, but then also growing, because we have a curriculum. I'm coaching and teaching leadership on all different levels, and production, along with Alan Eno, Ryan Tan, that will be coming in here in a few weeks too. We got him from Penn State, that has a wealth of knowledge from where he's been in the industry, creating games, building out professional level tournaments, international professional level tournaments. So super excited about what Ryan is all about and what he can do and what he knows. So I'm like, this is going to be almost like the dream team of coaches and teachers built together with myself, Ryan Tan, Alan Eno, and then
added to the.
Was that? You kind of broke up a little bit, Austin.
I would say added together with the dream team of players.
Exactly.
Yeah, added together with the dream team of players. Heck yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So super excited for them in that. If you want to read the rest of the article, go head over to 1011now.com for that. And on that note, good job on them. And then a little funny thing I found. I shared this on the Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge this past Wednesday. It was, you remember the movie Holes from 2003 with Shia LaBeouf, and the
Shia LaBeouf one, yeah.
Yeah, the Shia LaBeouf one. So one of the characters, you remember Zero? The actor, his name is Cleo Thomas. So
vaguely,
real quick, because I know.
Yeah.
So Zero was one of the characters. So he is now grown up. He's probably in his early mid 30s, and he is a big fan of Mortal Kombat. And so I found an article from Kotaku.com where he played in a Mortal Kombat tournament dressed up as Powerline. Powerline is a Disney character that was a pop star in the Goofy movie. If you remember the Goofy movie back in 1995, as date, that was my senior year of high school, freshman year of college. And so he dresses up cosplay style to go to this tournament, and he wins it. He won the Mortal Kombat tournament playing as Sub-Zero. Wow. And what him and his brother do every time a new Mortal Kombat game comes out, they play 100 games to see who's better, who's the best out of 100 games. So I'm like, wow, that's a way to train. That is a way to do it right there. And so Cleo Thomas, full cosplay costume, along with backup dancers. If you go to the website, it's Kotaku.com, and you type in, either Cleo Thomas, his name will pop up, and then you'll see the article. Read it. It's interesting. It's cool. He's an actor, playing Mortal Kombat, winning it, not just playing it, but winning the tournament. So I just had to bring that up. Talked about it on my Ahman Grease Gamers Lounge that we had yesterday at 11 a.m. on YouTube here and Twitch.tv too. So yeah, just thought I'd start that little tidbit of some esports and some video game stuff out there in the world today, floating around. Austin.
See, that's awesome. I mean, 100 games against your brother. I can only imagine how heated that gets. My brothers and I barely got through 3 games of whatever it was we were playing sometimes. I assume his brother's pretty good too. I mean, if they've been playing this long. But the part that blows my mind is the cosplay. Everything that goes into getting that set up. And you have eyeballs on you if you're wearing a costume up on stage. There's enough pressure to compete. But being the guy that's dressed up, you're intentionally drawing more eyeballs to yourself. That's more pressure. So to come through that and win the darn thing, I'm impressed. Well done.
Yeah, well done. Tipped in my hat to Cleo Thomas. I mean, I would probably dress up. I would do one of the Batmans, obviously. I'll probably do either Batman, Christian Bale, or Batman and Batman Beyond, the comic book TV show that was on back in 1999, 2000. Those would be the cosplays I would come in at a fighting game tournament. That's what I would do. So, all right. So on that note, hey, we're at the end of the show. Austin, good job, man. Good talking. Can't wait till next week. Gonna have new stuff coming down the line. I might be in Texas. I don't know. We'll see. But I hope so. Fingers crossed. If not, we'll be one more step there to be closer. So, all right, Austin, have yourself a good rest of the day.
You too, AG. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Koppel's big summer sales event is kicking off into high gear with lots of offers still going on. We've got 0.9% interest rates and trade-in bonuses on select new models.